All right, so thank you, everybody. My name is Angel DeRue. I am the Director of Training for InfoBase, and now actually part of the customer success team. So I'll be receiving some new duties along with what I've been doing for the past few years. But anyway, today we are going to, of course, be talking about feature films for education. I am not a huge fan of long PowerPoint slides. I just like to kind of roll up my sleeves and get right into things. So I just wanted to start with a couple of slides here. First of all, there's me, and just kind of give you a little bit of an introduction to feature films for education, what it is, kind of where the idea for it came from, and then we're actually going to take a look at the platform itself, and I'll give you, kind of a highlight reel, hopefully over the next few minutes, of some of the major tools and features. So the slide on your screen is a good summary of films, feature films for education. It is it's actually the newest film collection that we have put together from InfoBase, and it's available for both K-12 and academic classrooms. And so part of the idea behind it, and the thing that really excited me the most personally, is with having an education background, I know the struggle that educators face with being able to show videos in a classroom. We all have our own personal accounts to probably 79 different platforms, the usual suspects like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and so on. And there's always that question, well, can I show videos from my own personal account in my classroom? And of course, the answer is absolutely no. That's not what it's meant for. And so feature films for education came along as an answer to that. So how can I show films in my classroom? And I'm not, there have been different platforms, including a couple from InfoBase, that are mostly kind of, documentaries and educational videos and things like that. But there are few options, very limited number of options for using actual feature film content in a classroom setting. And so feature films for education definitely checks off that box in a big way. It consists of, right now, a little over 680 titles. That number should continue to grow, and it actually might be 690 because we recently added a few new titles and I didn't see the number change. So I think that's probably 690 now. But anyway, this is being offered through a partnership with Global Eagle. They are based out of Canada. They service a lot of customers around the world, educational partners, and school and K-12 and academic classrooms and so on. And so we were really excited to partner with them to offer this collection, which is really a nice cross-section of all of the major film genres, including some relatively recently released blockbusters, Academy Award winners. I grabbed a few of the titles from the collection as of right now. The most exciting one on the list, if you're looking at this on your screen, is of course Avatar. So the great news about Avatar is that up until last month, maybe I believe it was late September when we added that to the collection, or it may have been very early this month. Avatar was not available anywhere on any streaming platform in any way, shape, or form for educational use. Now, it may be on your, you can certainly rent it and buy it on your personal video subscription. It may even be available somewhere for personal use, but it has never been available for educational use in any capacity. So that was a really exciting addition to feature films. You also see a few new titles up there as well from just the last year or so. A couple of the big hits from last year. I've seen, believe it or not, I haven't seen Avatar. I know its legacy, though. I know it's a really important film, but I have seen Ford versus Ferrari and Jojo Rabbit. And as a person with an English language arts background, I'm familiar with Call of the Wild, although I haven't seen this particular production, which stars Harrison Ford. So anyway, so those are just some of the really nice highlights of the feature films for education classroom. I do definitely want to now show you what that actually looks like. Let me switch over to the screen share here. I'm just going to get rid of that box. Sorry about that. Nope, don't want to cancel the meeting. Let me get rid of that here. Let me switch to my screen so you guys can actually see the Feature Films platform. So this is Feature Films. It's actually similar to a couple of our other platforms that we offer here at InfoBase, but it's unique in that it's pretty much its own environment. And part of that, of course, is because of the content. It's feature film content versus what we typically offer, which are, again, documentaries, educational videos, lecture series, things that have kind of always traditionally been part of a streaming video collection. But we know from even from our own educational experiences, that a lot of times teachers will want to, and instructors at the collegiate level will want to show feature films, movies, outside of just the standard fare that you would find in a typical streaming collection for classrooms. They want to show those feature films because a lot of them can include things like literary adaptations, genres that correlate to what's being taught in the classroom, maybe movies that have some kind of historical content or scientific focus. So these are all very important opportunities for feature film content to be used in a K-12 or an academic classroom. So this is it's pretty intuitive. I feel like if you've used other services of this type or other streaming video platforms, this is going to be pretty intuitive. I think it doesn't really require a lot of learning anything new as far as what is available to you. But I do want to point out a couple of the features. So here we are on the home page, and this is a nice way to see kind of what people are watching. We have this most popular slide at the very top here. You'll see, a really interesting mixture of current films. We have Hidden Figures. That's part of the collection as well. We also have 12 Years a Slave, which is another recent release and Academy Award winner. Lots of, videos that you could certainly see their, the reason that you would want to use them in a classroom situation. I just skipped by one here. Where was it? There's A Midsummer Night's Dream. So again, certainly that literary connection. So with these films, you have a few options in terms of using the platform and kind of sharing these videos outside. You'll see as we hover over each of the poster-sized images here on the homepage, you're offered 3 different options. So the first is the share option. We've got some social media tools that you can share to. So if you're trying to promote the subscription and make sure that your students, your educators, your faculty and staff are aware of the existence of this collection and its availability to them in a classroom situation, you definitely want to be promoting it that way. We also have, with your own personal account, you can save your favorite titles. So if you're using certain ones, regularly, you want to be able to find them quickly. You don't want to have to go back and do searches each and every time. You can actually take your favorite movies and add them to a favorites folder, and you can create as many folders as you want. Maybe one folder per class or course that you teach, one folder per subject area, however you'd like to make use of that feature. And then the third tool here is the Embed link tool. Now, if you're using one of the more often used learning management systems, for example, Canvas, Brightspace, for K-12 users would be probably Schoology. We have direct integrations for all of those. So all you would have to do is go into your account, your existing Canvas account, for example, and search for the Feature Films LTI app. And then you can basically start searching and using the content directly from your instance of whatever it is that you're using. So Canvas, for example. That's certainly a thing that a lot of people take advantage of. You also, of course, can create an account within the platform, which is what I've done here for the purposes of today's demo. Doing that, it's a good thing to do, even if you are accessing the content from a different method. So if you do have Canvas, or if you're using some other external pathway to get to the Feature Films content, still not a bad idea to create an individual account, because that account is going to be in the system. It's going to stay there. It's going to have all your favorite information saved, all the settings that you've made, and that also is going to be a good source for later on, like if there's anything that you wanted to get back and find again. As far as browsing the content, the videos, the movies are organized according to genres, as you would certainly expect from a feature film collection. So you can see all the different genres here, and you can certainly go through some of these and see what's available. given my own personal background, I like to gravitate to the literary adaptations, and this is certainly, if I, as an educator, am thinking of, who I'm going to share this with, who am I going to speak to, I would say certainly the English department, is going to be the one of the first groups that I talk to about this collection or this product, because they're certainly going to want to make use of it right away. And of course, they're one of the first groups that you would think of who maybe struggle with the idea of, well, how can I use feature film content or movies in my classroom and not be violating, copyright laws or licensing agreements and so on. So these are, perfectly useful in that setting. You can see some of the different examples here from the literary adaptations collection. There's Anna Karenina. Some of them are, YA titles like Because of Winn-Dixie. So it runs a really nice gamut of different, different groups, different ages, different, educational uses, from pretty much, probably I would say middle school up through college. So it's a really nice collection there. You can also browse all the titles that are available on the platform. It's pretty much an A to Z listing of all the available options here. I already mentioned there 12 Years a Slave. And again, you can see certainly the cross-section of current titles versus classic titles versus, ones that have really strong, very powerful uses in a classroom situation. We've got, for example, for younger students, we have the Diary of a Wimpy Kids movie series. Let's see, they should be here at the bottom of our column here. Here we are. So here are the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie series, all the recent ones up until, but not including the one the road trip, road rules. I can't remember what it's called now. That's not in this collection, but all of the ones from the previous generation. So all the ones starring the original, the original actor playing the main character. So, I mean, definitely take a look at some of these. There's some great titles in here. Ones that, you may at first glance not even think, okay, how can I use this in a classroom setting? But if the need arises, you'll really definitely want to, be able to use some of these. So very quickly, I know we're almost up against the clock here. The videos also include the tools once you log in here. You will have obviously access information to be able to view each of these videos. Once you get to the video player page, you'll see all of the available information about each title, and then you'll also be able to choose between just the English audio version and then also an English audio version with English subtitles. So I know there was a mention of subtitles in the previous webinar, so I'll continue the trend and also point out that that is absolutely available in feature films for education, as well as some of the other things that you've seen today. All right, so I think that's my time. I don't know if you guys have any questions or if you have time to ask questions, but if not, feel free to reach out to me. I am here to respond to any questions or concerns that come up beyond today's webinar.
Thank you so much, Angel. And again, we will be sharing the recordings and have an opportunity to let people reach out to you directly. And if you're interested in a price quote, you can use the Will's co-op price quote form and we will get that to you. Okay.